Hello everyone आणि नमस्कार. This is Dr. Sudarshan Sambhaji Pedge, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, Kailas Rasica Mahavadhyalaya Devani, your zoology companion, and welcome to my lecture. So, in the last lecture, we also studied the food chain and types of food chain. In the types of food chain, grazing food chain as well as detritus food chain. Okay. Now today we will focus on next topic of your syllabus, that is the food web and energy flow. So let's get started today's lecture. We will focus on topic food web. So question may arise in your mind, what is meant by the food web? Food web, it is the various food chains interconnected with each other to form a particular network. That network is called as the food web. Okay, we know very well in any ecosystem. In that ecosystem, the various food chains are interconnected with each other and to form a particular network. That network is called food web. Okay. Another definition of food web is the interlocking of many food chains called food web. Okay, that is the one particular definition of food web. Okay, the food web, we know very well, there are so many food chains is there in the ecosystem, but we have seen rarely the simple food chains. Okay, why? This is because each organism may obtain food from more than one trophical level. Okay, in other words, one organism forms food for more than one organisms of the higher trophic level. Okay, that is the one particular definition or introductory idea about food web. So see here the 5 linear food chains of grassland food web. This is the one particular good example of food web. Okay, in a grassland ecosystem, you have see here grass is eaten by grasshopper, rabbit and mouse, right? And grasshopper is eaten by lizard, which is eaten by hawk also, right? And another food chain, the rabbit is eaten by hawk, mouse is eaten by snake, which is eaten by hawk, right? It means, or in addition, hawk also directly eats grasshopper and mouse, right? Thus there are 5 linear food chains which are interconnected to form a food web. Okay, 5 linear food chains are interconnected to form a one particular web, that is called as food web. Okay, that is we know very well, that is the definition of food web means or says that it is the various food chains are interconnected with each other to form a network called food web, right? Or the interlocking of many food chains is called food web, right? So this is a very simple food web. Okay, why? Because if you seen in the grassland ecosystem example, the grassland ecosystem are the or the grassland food web, it is a much more complex. Why? Because in addition to hawk, there are many other carnivores is there, that is vulture, crow, wolf, fox, man, etc. So similarly, we know very well the food webs are very important in maintaining the stability of an ecosystem. For example, the increasing the growth of grasses is controlled by the herbivores. Okay, when one type of herbivores become extinct, the other type of herbivore increasing number and control the vegetation. Okay, if it is a one type of herbivore is completely degenerated, that time another herbivores is there, and that herbivores control the vegetation. Okay, and similarly, when one type of herbivorous animals become extinct, the carnivore predating on this type may eat another type of herbivore. Okay, that is called the one particular food web. Okay, it means that if it is one type of herbivorous is completely degenerated, but carnivores not, it's totally depend on this. Okay, carnivores again uh, search another herbivores. Okay, that's it. That is the one particular food web. Okay, it means the food web means the various food chains interconnected with each other to form a network, that is called food web. Okay, so today we will see, sorry, we completed the food web. So now we focus on next topic, that is the energy flow. Okay, so start of topic, that is the energy flow. So first of all we focus on the trophic levels. Okay, we know very well each food chains contains many steps like producer, herbivores, primary carnivores, and so on, right? Each step of the food chain is called trophic level. You see here that the phytoplankton is the producers, zooplankton is the consumer, and the fishes are the secondary consumer, and snake is the tertiary consumer. Those levels is called as the trophic levels. Okay, the number of trophic levels in a food chain is always restricted to 4 or 5, right? But very often the chains are very much complicated with many trophic levels. Okay, so you see here in the example of trophic levels, in that the transfer of energy from one trophic level to an another trophic level is called energy flow. You have see here phytoplankton produce a energy, and that energy consume zooplankton. It means the phytoplankton energy is transferred into the zooplankton, and another zooplankton is again eat fishes. Okay, that it means the energy is transferred into the fishes, and fishes again transfer energy into the snake also. That is the flow of energy. Okay, that's we call it as transfer of energy from one trophic level to another trophic level is called energy flow, right? And the producer synthesize and store energy in their body by photosynthesis. When the consumer eat the producer, the energy is transferred to the body of consumer. Okay, right? The flow of energy in an ecosystem is a unidirectional. Okay, the flow of energy in an ecosystem is the unidirectional. So that is, it flows from the producer level to the consumer level. You see here producer energy is transferred from producer level to consumer level, means energy is produces in the phytoplankton, and then transferred into the consumer level in that examples. Okay, similarly the energy it flows from the producer level to the consumer level, and never in the reverse direction. You have here, never in the reverse direction, or energy, that energy again not reversed. Okay, when the herbivores, you can see here, that is the one particular flow diagram is here of energy flow. Okay, mean that the when the herbivores eat the producer, the energy is transferred to the body of herbivores. Okay, only 10% is stored. Okay, and the remaining 90% is lost through feces, respiration, and unused energy. Okay, and a large amount of energy is lost at each trophic level. You have see here 90% of energy is lost. Okay, only 10% energy it will be used. Okay, when the food chain is short, the final consumers may get large amount of energy, but when the food chain is long, the final consumer may get lesser amount of energy. Okay, so that is the energy flow. You have see here in that flow diagram. PP means the primary production and SP means the secondary production. Okay, so see in that diagram, let us assume that the total amount of energy stored in the producer is a 15 calorie, suppose. Okay, when the producer are eaten by herbivore, only 10% is transferred to the body of carnivores. Only it means only about 1.5 calorie, means 10% is incorporated into the body of herbivores, right? And another, that energy, when the herbivore is eaten by the carnivore, again only 10%, that is the 0.15 calories is incorporated into the body of carnivores. Okay, the remaining is the remaining 90% is lost as heat. Okay, today's lecture we have seen, that is the first of all in the food web, and the second session in the energy flow. So thank you very much all of you.